You find an old computer at a garage sale. So you decide to turn it on. Upon turning it on, you're met with a lock screen showing a kid's birthday party with a dog. There's a bar to put in a password, so you try something or press the question mark. Doing that, a hint pops up saying, "Hint, little furry boy's name and my birth year." Looking at the cake, we can see the name Liz is next to the girl, and Scotty is next to the dog. So we can assume the dog's name is Scotty. Now we have to figure out the birth year. Upon looking at the cake, we can see it's their 8th birthday, and on the bottom right of the photo, a date reads January 23rd, 2000. So if this is her 8th birthday and the photo was taken in 2000, all we have to do is subtract 8 from 2000, which gives us 1992. So the password is Scotty1992. Once you type that in and hit enter, you're in. This is Last Seen Online, a short and simple horror puzzle game inspired by early escape room flash games. The premise of the game is that you find someone's old computer and start digging around in it. The game is completely free on Steam and takes about 30 minutes to beat, but even though the game is short, the storytelling is what gets you and the secrets and details. Today I'm going to do a deep dive of this game, going through the game and beating it while talking about elements of the game, then going back one more time to tie everything together. Before I start this video, I highly recommend, before I spoil everything, go on Steam and play it. Like I said, it's very short, taking 30 minutes, and the puzzles are clever, but nothing that should take you too long. If I got through it with no hints, you can as well. It's free, so there's no reason not to play it, and if you get stumped, you can come back to this video. But if you don't want to do all that, then let's go through this computer and see what we can find. When you start up the computer, you're met with 4 icons: Buddy List, Loose AMP Player, Otherworld, and Photos for M.zip. The Buddy List is the first thing you might want to open, because opening it shows the chat logs, with everyone offline except one person, Orion. All of a sudden, you get a message. It's from Orion. "Hey, is this Liz?" Confirming it, the birthday photo is the owner of this computer, Liz, when she was 8. Also, the wallpaper of the computer says Liz plus M, clearly showing this M person, but Liz is blocked by a heart, maybe insecure about her looks. Looking back at the chat, you have 2 options to respond with. "Yeah, this is Liz," or "Can you remind me who this is?" Choosing "Yeah, this is Liz," he responds with, "Oh, interesting. So strange to see you here. ... Once again, 2 options to pick from, them being, "Yeah, I just took a long break," or "I don't know what you mean." Choosing the first option, he responds with, "Anything I can help you with?" 2 options. Do you know the password for Photos for M.zip? Or what's Otherworld? Asking what's the password for the file, he responds with, "I don't remember. Try digging through your computer chat logs. Maybe you sent it to someone?" Okay, I'll try that out. Now there's still the other option. What's Otherworld? Clicking it, he responds, "You gotta be joking. You don't remember? It's the game we played when we were kids. Are you sure this is Liz?" "Yeah, I'm sure. How do I get in?" "Just to make sure you are who you say you are, can you tell me the order of the 4 events during our final ritual?" "I'll try to remember," or "I don't remember." It seems we've hit a crossroads. There's nothing we can do from here, since we have no idea what he's talking about. So we close the chat, and now our main goal is to figure out what's in this folder. So like he said, we have to go digging around in the chat logs. So why not start with Orion? Looking, we can see our username in these logs is AloneGirl15. Very emo name. And scrolling up the logs, we finally hit the top. The chat reads, "Hey, have you seen Jenny's new world?" "Yeah, it was so cool. She really put a lot of time into it. One day I'll make a world just as cool. Haha, maybe. Oh yeah, look at this thing I found." With a link called redherring.exe. Clicking it installs redherring.exe on your computer. Clicking it shows a gray doll house of some sorts with a plastic chair on the side. Clicking the door, we enter the house. Entering the house, we see 2 floors, one with a window and a mattress and a body on it. Clicking the body, a photo pops up of a human face with text reading, "I'm not doing well." The bottom floor shows 3 plants and another body. Clicking it shows the same message, just with a different face behind the text. There's also text at the bottom of the screen that can read 2 things, either "You meet a boy" or "Pray to anything but God." This might all be connected somehow, but I think this is just a little thing the dev added to spook you out and set the tone for the game, since it's all very random and the title of the file is Red Herring, which when defining it means a clue or a piece of information that is or is intended to be misleading or distracting. So with all that, let's get back to the chat logs. Last we left off, it was Orion sending the link. Oh wow, is this from Otherworld? No, it's just some art project. I don't think it has anything to do with the game. Orion is now offline. Orion is now online. Hey, have you tried typing /info in the Otherworld chat? It shows you how long you've been online. OMG, this is so embarrassing. 849 hours. Orion is now offline. Orion is now online. It worked. Get on Otherworlds right now. And that's where it ends before they message us again, which is when we first logged on. Very strange. First of all, this game Otherworlds is mentioned a lot. Liz clearly likes the game, having 849 hours in it, clearly being her escape. So I think it's time to see what Otherworlds is. Looking at the icon, we can see it's an O with a dot in the middle and a W. OW standing for Otherworld. Opening the game, we can see it's very similar to Minecraft in its appearance. In fact, the game uses the same font and color scheme as it looking like the old version of the game. We see 3 buttons: login, register, and exit. Clicking login, it brings us, well, to a login screen with info. We close it and hit register. This shows we need a password. Not knowing what the password is, that's really all we get of Otherworlds. So, we close the game and we have to keep digging through the chat logs. Let's start from the top and work our way down. And at the top of the chat is someone called AZN Lawson. So I'll just call him Lawson. Hey, how's your day going? It's good. Just good? What are you up to? Nothing much, just listening to music, playing games. How about you? Also just good here. Gotta study for the algebra test soon or else my mom's gonna kill me. OMG, didn't your mom yell at you last time? Yeah, but I think I can do better this time. You are doing your best. Don't let her get you down. My mom's also been on my butt lately. You too? Tell me about it. Keeps telling me that I'm so much like my dad. It's not my fault he left her though. Every day it's just yelling and yelling I'm not enough. Aw, that's rough. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen my dad too. Wonder how he's doing. I gotta go, but I do really enjoy talking to you. Good night. Lawson is now offline. Lawson is now online. Yo, did you finish the algebra homework yet? Hey, they're saying things at school. Are you okay? I know you don't want to talk about it, but I just want to make sure you're okay. I miss you. I just got a C+ on the algebra test. Had a fight with my mom today. It's okay though. Hope you are doing well. Just got into our dream school. Saw a dog today. Looked a lot like Scotty. This user is offline. Wait until they get back. Reading these chats, we can see that this was a friend of Liz they went to school with and were close and liked talking to. But Liz just stopped responding, with Lawson asking if she's okay since things are being said at school and they keep checking in. With a lot of time passing with him saying he got in their dream school and saying he misses her, but no response, just being left in the dark. Maybe the next chat has more answers. The next chat is from someone named Scott NJ. Hello, it is Scott from Otherworld. You wish to add me? Yes, so what you talked about, the ritual, I've been thinking about it. It will help me leave? Yes, the Baphomet ritual. I would describe it more as the Konami code of the universe. It won't help you leave, but it will bring your consciousness, your code, into enlightenment. I can show you forever. Okay. Also, you have the same name as my dog. Ha ha ha. Did you get my link from the game? So, this is it. Are you sure it works? You're the one who asked for my help. The path towards eternal sanity lies within here. Do you seek eternal happiness or not? The process has begun. Are you ready? Yeah, but I'm a little scared. Don't be scared, little one. I will meet you soon. Then a very cryptic text from Liz reads, You promised me you wouldn't leave me. Well, this is weird. It's like the message is broken, like she's trying to talk, but it's getting lost in translation. With that, that's the end of the chat with Scotty. One thing I'd like to point out is how real these conversations feel. With misspelled things, slang, random mistypes, and other things, really feels like a lived-on computer. Now we're on the second to last person on our buddy list, Eternal Juice. This chat is very short reading. Age, sex, location. I'm just 14. The sweet nectar of the youth. I cannot wait for you to join us. What? This is what I'm talking about the computer feeling lived on. I mean, were you really on the internet in the 2000s if a weirdo didn't send you some weird stuff like this? This is a very weird text, but now we know Liz is 14, which makes some things a little more clear. When Lawson says he got into his dream school, that usually means college, which the age to start college is 17 years old, which means he was checking in on those messages for at least 3 years. And with that, there's one chat left. XXEmberXX86. The chat reads, Lawson is so cute. Why don't you just ask him out? There's no way he likes me. I'm not pretty. What? Lol, you're so pretty. My mom says I don't have her nose. I have my dad's big nose. I hate it. Don't listen to her. You're beautiful. I just want to run away, Em. I hate it on Earth. Even if Lawson doesn't love you, I will always love you, BFF. Ember is now offline. Ember is now online. My mom is taking away my computer, but I found a way, Em. Sorry, I was studying. What's going on? Your mom is so weird. Liz, we haven't talked in like 2 weeks. What have you been up to? Oh, sorry. Just been hanging with some friends I met on Otherworld. I did it. I found out how to get out of here forever. Lol, where are you going, Paris? I sent you the photos, did you get them? We performed these steps yesterday for Orion. Soon I will be free.
Yeah, the zip file, but it's a 4-digit passcode.
It's 4 of my songs on my Loose AMP playlist.
Oh, I don't get it. You have 8 songs.
Are you still using our BFF desktop wallpaper? You need to close every window except for Loose AMP. The wallpaper will show you the order.
That's crazy. OMG, I just dragged the window over. Okay, what's next?
Listen to the lyrics.
Oh, now you're smart as
So now we know the puzzle to get into the zip file, and we know the person in the wallpaper photo is Liz's best friend. But before we do all that, let's finish this chat.
OMG, why do you have a pic of Lawson?
No, that was on accident.
These are weird pics.
So, are you interested?
Emily, it worked.
Who is this?
It's me, Liz. I am still learning how to control this.
Listen, I don't know what kind of sick joke you're playing, but this is seriously up. I'm blocking you.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, Lawson is Liz's crush. The person that was texting us and checking in on us was someone they had a huge crush on, even having a photo of them on their computer. And the girl in the wallpaper's photo's real name is Emily. And she didn't like the weird text we sent, so much so she blocked us. With that, that's all the chats. And now we can do the puzzle to see what's in the zip file. So as Liz said, we need to take the media player and center it with the wallpaper, then play the music in order of the numbers on the wallpaper and listen to the lyrics. The first song goes,
Wake at 7 a.m.
The first number mentioned in the lyrics is 7, so the first digit is 7. Next track.
I put my luck on a 4-leaf clover.
4-leaf clover, so 4, 7, 4.
Babbling river upon that glows, a hot spring overflows. All three things,
All 3 things, so 3, 7, 4, 3. And the final track.
I don't want to be buried 6 feet under the ground.
6 feet under the ground. The final code is 7436. Typing that into the zip file, we get 5 photos on our desktop and a notepad. All the photos named in order from 1 to 4, and one named Lawson, which shows a photo of Lawson, the boy she has a crush on, and this being the photo that M found saying it in the chat logs. Looking at the other photos, they look a lot like something you would do during a ritual, and them being numbered, we now know Orion's code. These are the things they did during the final ritual, and the number of the photos are the order. Before we talk to Orion, I think we need to look at this notepad. Opening it, we see it's a diary of some sorts, and it's pretty long, so if you don't feel like hearing someone read for a while, I totally understand that, but I think you should sit through it and just listen to this, because there's definitely some interesting things that are brought up. But if you skipped or not, let's start reading this. Starting from the top, it reads, 824. Just found my old notebook, and got inspired to make a digital version. It was weird reading it, lots of things I went through 4 years ago. Sound like me right now. It's like I keep going through the same problems over and over again. 827. Whoops, had to study for a quiz, didn't get to update as much as I wanted. 828. I've been spending a lot of time on the computer lately, I really should get out more. I met a new friend named Orion though. He showed me a new game today. 9-2. Just saw a post on Zanga that Kev NG just recently passed away. It was weird seeing it, I felt kind of emotionless, it just was. There was a bunch of comments on the post, RIP Kev, and stuff like that. I didn't really know him, I don't know how to feel. 9-3. I forgot Kev's locker used to be right below mine. I used to have to move out the way whenever he came, and I would hear his voice. Hi? Excuse me. I was so used to it. When I closed the locker, I realized I didn't hear him, and I didn't have to move out of the way. And then I cried. I couldn't stop crying. Death is so scary to me. Just how can someone just be gone? Every little thing about this person, everything that we're going to do tomorrow, Kev going to class the next day, or Kev preparing for Spirit Week next week, it all just stops. 9-4. Lawson, M, and I visited the Landis exit today, off 680. Someone put a white cross where Kev and his dad crashed. I wrote Kev a letter and dropped it off. 9-5. Mom found out that Lawson drove me to visit Kev's grave and got hella mad. She told me in her stupid, broken-ass English that I was a criminal. She said I ruined her beauty by being born, and the least I can do is be a good child. I stayed late after school in the library's computer lab. I vented to Orion. I walked home and went into my room. Mom was quiet, didn't say nothing to me. 9-6. My mom called the cops yesterday. She reported me missing. Then today, she called the cops again, telling them to arrest me because she thought I was doing drugs yesterday. WTF. 9:13. Sorry computer, been a couple days, ran away. I spent the week at M's place. M is such a really good friend. M's mom called my mom. My mom and I ended up talking. She took me out to my favorite Chinese place with honey walnut shrimp. She told me how tough it is to have to do all this alone and how she doesn't know how to do it sometimes. I can understand, Mom. But most of the time I don't. She just says really weird shit sometimes. I understand she loves me and wants me to grow up well. I love her and I love how goofy she can be sometimes, but she just says the meanest things. 10:13. Mom is away visiting grandma, so I skipped class. Orion has been sending me some horror mangas because of Halloween. Last night we got obsessed with looking up serial killer stories. He introduced me to Scott. I might visit them soon. 10:31. I don't want to leave this world if you are not by my side. And that's the entire notepad. Now there's a lot of things that was said there, but I'm going to save it for the end, since right now we need to finish Orion's puzzle. Going into the chat logs, we can accept his questioning. He gives a lot of options and it's very simple. Read them all and then look at the photo with one in it. Now figure out what the photo looks like out of all these options. The first photo shows 4 photos of people on a wall. Reading the options, I'd say this one matches "We respected the 4 fallen." And it's right. The next photo shows a statue of some sorts, so option 2 must be "We bless the statue." The third photo shows what looks like a fountain, so the option must be "We gazed upon the fountain." And the fourth and final photo shows 3 empty static paintings with candles in front of them, so the option is "We lit the candles for our tributes." After answering all the questions correct, Orion believes us that we are Liz and tells us to register an account and gives us an invite code to Otherworld. The code is Neverland 589. And then Orion says very nervously,
Hey Liz, I'm a BRB. See ya.
and with that, we can finally enter Otherworld. Opening the game, we hit register and put in the password Orion gave us. Once we enter it in and press enter, we get a call from Orion, saying we are connecting to the call and our webcam will be used. The call starts, and what we see is very strange. A chair in the middle with blood and flies around it, and then the whole room shakes before the call ends. Very strange and creepy, but I'll come back to it later. Entering the game, we get to add our username and join. Once we join, we get a message from Orion. "You aren't Liz," which is not good because that means he caught on to us and maybe knew this from the beginning, but we'll just move past it. And the other messages are from the game itself. "Welcome to Otherworld. Click on the arrows to navigate around the world, and some objects are special, so click around. Enjoy your time here. All the creations is at your fingertips. What will you dream up? The Nexus home of all custom user worlds. Upload yours or check out the vast cosmos of worlds already uploaded." Hearing this, the game reminds me a lot of a game called Second Life, which is a game so popular in the early 2000s, it was featured in an episode of The Office, where Dwight gets so depressed after a breakup, he uses the game as an escape. So much so, the avatar in the game makes his own life, called Second Life. Which is what this reminds me of. Open sandbox with simple graphics and tons of user-generated things to join. But now that we are finally in the game, we can explore. In front of us, we see some floating shapes. We can move backwards and forwards, and moving to the right, we enter a club. Dance away, Otherworld is full of players to meet and dance with music playing, a dance floor, a statue, and a disco ball, and a clock, which is actually based off a real-life art piece. But we also see a figure sitting in the darkness. Clicking it, it emerges, saying, "Hello, friend," with the username being AloneGirl15. Liz's username. Could this be Liz? She comes over to us and leaves. Going back to the spawn, she's there and puts a smiley face in the chat, then goes to the left. Following her, we see the user-made worlds, and she goes into one called House of Baphomet, which is the thing Scott mentioned in the chats. And with all the other worlds being empty, there's no other option. So we click on the world, and now we are in, with a red sky and eerie vibes. It says this is a multi-dimensional plane connecting all worlds. In front of us is a massive door with 4 door knockers on it. Clicking it, we see it says knock knock. Moving to the right, we can see the 4 fallen, and clicking them, they make a noise. Tapping all of them gives a message, with one of them saying, sometimes holding down will give a different result than just tapping. So let's go back to the doors and hold down. Holding it down gives a much louder knock. And if you noticed, when you click on the photos, they make a noise, with a little noise and a big noise, which is how you unlock the door. Click the photos and repeat the noise pattern on the door with the corresponding side. So the first photo goes, big sound, little sound, big sound. So repeat that on the door and it turns red. Do that for all all the photos and the door will open. Entering it, we see a statue followed by more. A goat, an eagle, a bull, and a lion, with the bull labeled ending. So if that's the ending, let's go to the lion. The lion is holding a red stone and a green stone, which corresponds with the other statues. And when you click on the ending, it says he needs 3 stones, calling him greedy, which means the number of stones the statues are holding is the number of times you need to click on them. So starting with the lion, he's got a red one and a green one. Right next to him is the red one, so we click that once. And then the green one is the eagle, so we click the eagle once. Now the eagle is holding 3 purple and 1 yellow. We saved the purple for last, so we go all the way back to the lion and click it once. Now all we have to do is go to the bull, the ending, and click it 3 times. And with that, the statue slides out of the way and we can now enter. Entering, we see in front of us it says, a simulation, a fever dream, or both. Going to the left, we can see a fountain, which if you've realized, the things we've done so far are the things shown in the photos we showed to Orion, which means the thing we saw in the beginning is Liz, and this is what she was talking about. Looking at the fountain, there are shapes. Clicking the shapes on the side to recreate the shapes on the fountain starts running in the shape of an F. And recreating all the shapes at the bottom of the fountain makes a different letter, which when put together spells out forever. So going back to the first section, we need to spell that with the letters, and we can't use the same cube to spell it. So we spell 4 with ever laid out right there for us. Doing so, a black box appears in front of us. Entering it, we see this is what was on the final photo, the tribute. All of a sudden, the music gets very dark. And reading them, we see, whose bond do you trust the most? Who is your unrequited desire? And who is the controller of your fate? Clicking them, we can see our photos. Clicking wallpaper photos, we see one titled Me and My Friend. Selecting that, we see Emily. And being her best friend, that's what matches best to a bond you trust the most. So we click open and now it's there on the frame. And clicking the other one, we should now look through the folder called desktop. And this is all of our desktop photos, which has the photo of Lawson, and that matches your unrequited desire. So now there's one left, so we can enter the pictures folder. And in there is a photo labeled me. This is Liz. This is what she looks like. And this is what we select since Liz is the sole controller of their fate. Once we select it, this is where everything reveals itself. SV_cheats1, God, no clip. And then Liz appears. How long has it been? Thank you for uploading those pictures. I wondered if I would ever see their faces again. I even forgot what I used to look like. I haven't seen another person on here in a long time. A long time ago, I was approached by a man. He promised me forever. I wondered if I would ever see their faces again. I even forgot what I used to look like. I got into a fight with my mother, so I decided to upload myself onto the internet. I uploaded myself onto this game. At first it was great. We created so many beautiful things here. This world used to be crowded with so many new faces to meet every day. But now, showing a wall of people that haven't been online at the lowest of 1 year and highest of 7 years. People leave, grow old, move on to the next thing. But Otherworld stays the same forever. Showing a server browser with only one person online, which is Liz, in the House of Baphomet. Without the players, all the player-created worlds are gone. Eventually, everyone who performed the ritual tried to delete themselves, but how is a soul stored in a file system? I hear them sometimes, screaming their consciousness merged with some arbitrary system file. This place is all I have left. All things deteriorate, even this. How could we have known? I miss Emily. I miss going on the computer with her, playing flash games, sleeping over, watching TV shows together. I wonder who she grew up to become. I miss Lawson. I miss talking to him about my problems. I miss how comforting he was. I don't want him to see me like this. I miss my mom. I miss our stupid fights. It's all so meaningless now. If I could have realized how temporary it all was. I used to be afraid of getting bad grades. I used to be afraid of not looking pretty enough. I used to be afraid of disappointing people. I used to be afraid of death. But now, I'm afraid of forever. But you're here now, aren't you? You performed the ritual, only a few minutes until you join me, and then I won't be alone forever. We see a task manager that's flashing red, and a notification that Otherworld memory bounds have been exceeded. And then we get a message from Lawson. Hey Liz, I keep seeing your account online and offline. I've been messaging you every year since you left, maybe hoping you would reply. I visited you today. I left you some flowers and some haichu. I decided that it's time to move on. You're not coming back, are you, Liz? I've missed you so much. Goodbye. And then we see on the task manager the game is breaking, and Liz starts to realize, saying, no, 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 I don't want to be alone. And then the game crashes, giving us a crash report message saying, Otherworld has encountered a problem and needs to close. We are sorry for the inconvenience. If you are in the middle of something, the information you were working on might be lost. Please tell Otherworld about this problem. We have created an error report that you can send to us. We will treat this report as confidential and anonymous, with the option send report highlighting the and don't send highlighting end. The end. It doesn't matter which one you press, it will all do the same thing. Thank you so much for playing. You did it. You beat the game. This little ending highlights the playtesters, inspiration for it, links to things, and little doodles of the game's puzzles. I recommend going through this full thing since it's pretty in-depth and interesting. So that ending really was a lot. And now it's the part of the video where I tell you the story and put everything together. So the first thing I want to touch on is the story. Liz was in a pretty gray part of her life, and then she got in a fight with her mom, and with all that, she decided to upload herself onto the game Otherworld by doing this ritual. That's a short little recap, but now the first thing I want to touch on is the error message. It says everything you've been working on is lost. Does that mean we deleted her? Maybe the world, or just the effects of the ritual? Another thing is when she talks about Emily and Lawson, showing their profiles, we see in Emily's bio a wedding ring with an @sonoflaw92. She wonders what she grew up to become. Well, she got married. And when she shows Lawson's profile in his bio, it says John 3:16, which is a Bible verse reading, For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. Which is a pretty heavy verse and stays on subject of the whole eternal life thing. He believes in it, and Liz is living it. And taking a closer look at Lawson's profile, we see his @ Emily's was Burning Ember, and Lawson's is Sonoflaw92. The @ in Emily's bio right next to the wedding ring. So we now know that Emily and Lawson got married. We knew they were close and both knew each other, since in the notes, Liz says Em and Lawson drove together. So after Liz vanished, they still talked and stayed close and then got married. It's also clear why Liz ghosted Lawson, with her saying, I don't want him to see me this way, so she's embarrassed and knows that talking won't help since she's stuck here forever, so it's pointless to engage in the chats. And also another mystery is Emily just blocking her. They're best friends. How could you just block her? Also creepy message. What I think is that people were saying things at school, like Lawson said, and you know how kids can be, so Emily thought this was someone messing with her from school, mocking her that her best friend went missing, so she blocked him so she doesn't have to be messed with anymore. And there's Scott, who clearly baited Liz into doing the ritual and left her in the computer, with her saying, you promised you wouldn't leave me. Her realizing she just got tricked and he gets to live on and she's trapped in there forever, being betrayed. And there's Orion. She says a long time ago a man approached her, promising forever. This has to be Orion, since they talked a lot and he introduced her to the game, and he also introduced her to Scott. And it feels like he's still in the real world, but he's not. He did the ritual, but he's not in the game, and the webcam shows a dead person in the frame with blood and flies. And also, when you enter Otherworld for the first time, you get this achievement called You Aren't Liz. But when you look at it, it looks like a bunch of gibberish, but when you decode it, it reads Orion. Liz, it's me. I found someone. A lone girl 15. Orion? Is that you? I'm so scared. No one left. It's been so long. Orion, don't worry. You won't be alone anymore. Which makes me think Orion is a ghost outside the computer, like he's the god of this world or something. Since he did do the ritual, since Liz told Emily that. But why wasn't he in the game? And how can he talk to us in the chats perfectly? We saw how Liz's messages work when she's in the computer. Maybe he's just a pro at this whole being in a computer thing. But one last thing is when Emily unlocked the folder, the notepad was there. And at the bottom of the notepad it says, I don't want to leave this world if you are not by my side. Which makes me think this is a way for Liz to tell her she wanted to do the ritual, since whenever she asked her in the chats, she just got ghosted. There's more to this story, but this video is getting long and I don't want to drag it on. But that's pretty much the story summed up, with the important parts highlighted. The game hits that mark in horror that in my opinion is actually scary, psychological horror. I mean, just imagine, you're stuck in a game with all the people and things that made the game gone, and you can't communicate to anyone, since 1, her mom doesn't have chat, Lawson there's no point to talk to, and Emily blocked her. And this will all last forever, and it's all your fault, just for making a quick decision, since she was in a bad headspace. And now she has to live with that forever. I feel like the game has a hidden meaning, like, don't act drastically on something in the moment, since it can be temporary, and it can be fixed. but the drastic measure you take might be forever. This is why at the end, I hope we did delete Liz and all the others and set them free. Truly a great game. I'm glad I played it and got to dig through it. The dev says they're making a second one which will cost money, which is that's understandable. So I can't wait for that. I really hope there's a webcam scare in it that actually turns on your webcam like Kinito Pet. More horror games need that since I just find it so sick and actually scary in the moment. And with that, I think it's time to turn this computer off. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.